A function f of z is said to be continuous at a point z naught if limit z tends to z0, f of z equal to f of z0. So what it means, you can say that the given function is continuous at a point, complex point z naught if this condition is satisfied. Now what is the meaning of this condition? So in this condition, there are three things. Number one, this left hand side limit should be exist. Number two, the value of the function at a point z0 should be exist. And number three, the limit and the value of function both are same. In the existence of the limit, just we defined yesterday, in that case, the function may or may not exist at a point z0, value of the function. However, you can find the limit. But in case of continuity, the value of the function at the limiting point should be well defined. Then you can say that the function is continuous. Next point, further, this is we define continuity at only one point z0. If fz is continuous in a region R of z plane, fz is called, yes, Desai, any doubt? So fz is, this is called continuous at a point z0. And you say that the function is continuous on throughout the region R of the z plane if it is continuous at every point of that region. Region of a complex plane means some portion of the xy plane. Xy plane will be same as the complex plane. So if this condition is satisfied at every point, of region R, then you can say that this function is continuous throughout the region R. So first is continuity at a point, second is continuity at a throughout the region R. Next point, excuse me, if f of z equals to u plus iv, then function is continuous at z naught equal to x naught plus I y naught. If this complex number is x naught plus I y naught, if and only if and only if means in both the way, double implies. uxy and vxy both are continuous at x0, y0. So both way means if fz is continuous, then u and v are continuous, and if u and v are continuous, then fz is continuous. U and v are real and imaginary part. So this is in general. Next, this is basic algebraic conditions for continuity. We assume it. In fact, this is true, but right now we are not going to prove this. Addition, subtraction, product, quotient means division. In that case, the denominator should be non-zero. Is continuous provided the both functions are continuous, means addition, subtraction, product and quotient of continuous function are also continuous. Means if two functions are continuous, say f of z is and g of z, if these both are continuous function, then their addition is continuous, their subtraction is continuous, then product is continuous, and the quotient is continuous. In the condition of the quotient, the denominator should not be equal to 0. So that we assume, okay, in general. Next one is the polynomial functions are always continuous function. Polynomial functions means the function which is defined by the polynomial of z, means the function like fz equal to a0, a1, z, a2, z square, etc. up to you write an z power n. So this is called the polynomial function, nth degree polynomial function, and it is always continuous. Okay. So this is what the basic continuity. So we define two terms. First is limit, another is continuity. Now let us see how to deal with the problem for limit and continuity. First problem, if f of z equal to 3z minus 1, using the definition, prove that limit as z tends to 1 plus I, f of z is equals to 2 plus 3i. So in this problem, we have to prove that, we have to show that the limit of this function as z approaches to 1 plus I is 2 plus 3i. But in fact, we have to check by using the definition of the limit function. So what is the definition of the limit function? Just we defined yesterday that you can say that the limit z tending to z0 f of z is L if definition for every epsilon greater than 0, if there exists another real number delta greater than 0 depends on epsilon such that whenever 0 less than mod z minus z0 less than delta implies that f of z minus L should be less than epsilon. So how to deal with this problem? In order to prove this one, we have to ultimately determine the value of this delta subject to given epsilon, so that when we take this condition, you will get this condition by default. So let us see how to do solution. We have to prove that limit z tends to 1 plus I f of z equal to 2 plus 3i. That's we want to prove. So we compare with standard limit. So here the limiting point z naught equal to 1 plus I. The value of fz, it is given here 3z minus 1, and limits L, that's we have to prove 2 plus 3i. Okay, so now we try to obtain the value of delta subject to the given condition. So how to proceed? We assume that suppose epsilon greater than 0 is given. Now we have to find the delta in terms of epsilon. So let us begin with epsilon is given. So let us begin with f of z minus L. This is the technique. In order to prove find the value of delta, we begin with epsilon. So let us try to obtain the value of delta. How to find? So we'll take the modulus of the function and the required limit. Now put the value of f of z. So f of z is 3z minus 1. L means 2 plus 3i. This is what the initial supposition, initial process. Any problem of the limit to prove in using the definition, compare with standard limiting notation and obtain this value. This is equal to, now let us simplify. So this is 3z minus 1 minus 2. So minus 3 minus 3i. Okay, equal to 3z. From last two term we take minus 3 common. So 1 plus I. If you take 3 outside, so it is modulus z minus 1 plus I. Now you look at this. We begin with difference of limit function and we get here this value. when the limit exists in any problem, if you start with these two difference, and you will get difference of these two number. So this is equals to, I can write 3 into modulus z minus z0, right? And if modulus z minus z0 is less than delta, so this is 3 times delta, subject to the condition mod z minus z0. Now this is z minus z0 less than delta, but this value should be less than epsilon. We had begun with this value, and this is epsilon. So this is nothing but epsilon. तो क्या करना है आपको, जब भी कोई लिमिट का प्रॉब्लम प्रूव करना हो तो आप एप्सिलॉन माइनस एल ले लो, इसमें वैल्यू पुटअप कर दो, सिंप्लीफाई कर दो, कांस्टेंट टर्म बाहर ले लो, तो ब्रैकेट मॉड्यूलस z माइनस z0 आ जाएगा. So simply put z minus z0 equals to delta, and the whole quantity equal to, you call it epsilon. So what you are getting finally, therefore for given epsilon equal to 3 delta, that is delta equal to epsilon by 3, and this is what we required. हमें डेल्टा की वैल्यू लानी है in terms of epsilon. So how to write the answer now? See. So now you can write the answer in this way, final. Therefore, for given epsilon greater than 0, there exists delta greater than 0 where delta equal to epsilon by 3, such that 0 less than z minus 1 plus I less than delta implies that f of z minus L. L कितना था? 2 plus 3i here. So 2 plus 3i less than epsilon. So you are getting this condition. Okay, because ultimately हमने ये condition लेके ही ये prove किया है. So we move, उल्टा चले हम लोग, ये condition assume कर ली और delta निकाल दिया. So hence limit z tends to 1 plus I f of z equal to 2 plus 3i. This is proof. Okay, so in this way you can prove the limiting problem. Now you take one note over here. Look at this. Just we define. This is just for your better understanding. What is fz is given? f of z क्या दिया है आपको क्वेश्चन में? 3z minus 1. Is it or not? So fz equal to 3z minus 1. And if you look at the nature of this function, So this is polynomial function. Is it or not? Z की power वाला हो गया. So once this is polynomial, so this function is always continuous everywhere. So you can say that for any value z tends to z0, f of z equal to f of z0. Now, if you take here z0 equals to 1 plus I, this point. So what you are getting? Z tends to 1 plus I f of z equal to f of 1 plus I. F of 1 plus I means the value of the function at 1 plus I. So in this function, we replace z by 1 plus I. So 3 into 1 plus I minus 1. So 3 into 1 into 3. 3 minus 1. So 2 plus 3i. And we will get the same result that we want to prove. Clear? So two things. One, अगर पूछा है आपको एग्जाम में कि इसकी वैल्यू कितनी आती है, so you can prove it by using definition. Otherwise, अगर simple कोई objective आ गया कि भाई what is the value of the limit, so you can just show the reason that the function is polynomial function. It is always continuous. So value of the limit at a function will be same as the value of the function at that point. Okay. Now listen all of you. When I ask you that I am going to take attendance, you have to switch on your video, because if your face is not recognized, your attendance will be marked absent. I am observing here some of the students are during the meeting, they left the meeting and then they join after when we are going to take the attendance. This is not the scenario should be considered. આમાં મને દેખાય છે ઓલરેડી બધું જ. જો હમણાં આને કેમેરો ચાલુ કર્યો, 28 નંબરે બંધ કર્યો, બધું જ દેખાય છે મને. તો તમે ચાલુમાં થોડીક વાર થઈને ચાલુ લિમિટ લેફ્ટ થઈ જશો તો નહીં ચાલે. હું જ્યારે અટેન્ડન્સનું કહીશ ત્યારે જેને તમારે કેમેરો 1 સેકન્ડ માટે સ્વિચ ઓન કરી દેવાનો. ઇન બિટવીન લેફ્ટ થશો તો અહીંયા આગળ માર્ક થઈ જશે પેલામાં. ઓકે. Now let us see second problem. Look at this. So that the limit z tends to z0. यहाँ पे z0 नहीं होगा, printing mistake है. It should be 0. This should be 0. So that limit z tends to 0, z bar upon z does not exist. हमें प्रूव करना है कि ये z bar upon z की लिमिट z tends to 0 पे exist नहीं है. As we defined previously, that when you can say that the limit of the function exists, so limit of any function exists as z tends to z0, provided this value is same, or you can say unique, for all paths in which z approach to z0. And I show you that there are infinitely many paths in which z approach to z0. Okay. Now we have to check whether the limit does not exist. Means we have to show the two different path limit which has the different value, then limit does not exist. अगर exist करता है तो इसका हर एक path के ऊपर लिमिट सेव होना चाहिए. हमें चेक करना है कि लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट, तो हम इसकी दो ऐसी पाथ लिमिट दिखा देंगे कि जिसकी वैल्यू डिफरेंट होगी. सो लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट. सो वी आर यूजिंग द सेम टेक्निक you used in partial differentiation for the limits of function of two variable. So how to prove this limit does not exist? We try to find two different values, two path limits. So how to find? So let us call, let z equal to x plus iy. So what is z bar? Z bar is x minus iy. So therefore, limit z tends to 0, z bar upon z equal to x plus iy tends to 0 plus I0 x minus iy divided by x plus iy. Now x plus iy tends to 0, 0. You can also write in this form, limit xy tends to 0, 0. X minus iy, x plus iy. Now xy tends to 0, 0. So there are so many possibility. Let us take only two different paths. So first we obtain the path limit. So let us call the first limit, say L1. How to define this path limit? So this is your point, say x comma y. Now you have to approach here 0. So we consider two different paths. Let us take the first path, means first we move downward and then horizontally. I call this is path 1. And in path 2, first I move horizontal, then I get down. This is path 2. Now in path 1, what happened? This is x-axis, y-axis. In path 1, what happened? First we move towards x-axis. So which variable is tends to 0 first? Rushi Taylor. Rushi Taylor 65. 70.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
हाँ. Also આવશે path 1 માં પહેલી લિમિટ માં
पहले लिमिट
28. 28 નંબર નથી. Okay, so switch on your camera. I will take first attendance. Switch on your camera. I will take your attendance first. 68, 62, 63, 71, 60, 40, 44. These are not 1, 8, 2, 3. चालू करो सबका, जिसका कैमरा चालू होगा उसका अटेंडेंस आएगा।
सर चालू ही है कैमरा।
हाँ मैं अभी ले रहा हूँ, जिसका बंद है उसका मैं नाम बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पे। ओके
68 बोला आपने।
हाँ अभी चालू हुआ। 71 बंद है, 71 नहीं है, 44
चालू तो करिए
हाँ
सर।
71 चालू करो फिर आपका म्यूट कर दो माइक। चलो आई एम काउंटिंग 3 एंड देन आई विल टेक द स्क्रीनशॉट। 1 नंबर 1 एब्सेंट, 3
Yes, sir.
done,
Sir, x tends to 0.
so
The network give again.
when you take here the first path, so in first path y will tends to 0 and then x tends to 0, क्योंकि यहां से आप ये y हो गया आपका पॉइंट के लिए और ये x हो गया। दूसरी कंडीशन में यहाँ पे x tends to 0 होगा और फिर y tends to 0. So if I'll call this limit L1 and L2, so what happened for L1? So L1 will be limit x tends to 0, then limit y tends to 0, मतलब जो अंदर है वो पहला y होगा, then x minus iy, x plus iy. Now you let y tends to 0, so x tends to 0, y term 0, so we are having only here x by x, so limit is 1. Now we take another limit L2. So in L2, x tends to 0, x minus iy, x plus iy. Now put x equal to 0. So then y tends to 0 and now y 0, so it is, sorry, x 0. X 0, so minus iy divided by iy. So iy cancel, so answer is -1. So L1 is 1, L2 is -1. Just you compare only two limits. So therefore, L1 is not equal to L2. So limit z tends to 0, z bar upon z does not exist. In this way you can prove it. Otherwise you can also prove this problem by using another method. This is path limit, or you can use the another method directly. See, it depends on your practice. Z tends to 0, z bar upon z equal to limit x plus iy tends to 0. Z bar means x minus iy divided by x plus iy. Now you know that to find the limit for the function of two variable, we are using the path. So how to assume the path? So you have to select the value of y. Are you not observing the PPT? हेलो,
नो सर, इट्स विजिबल।
दिख रहा है?
दिख रही है सर, दिख रही है एकदम।
हाँ बस।
यस सर।
यस सर।
हाँ, तो इसमें
हाँ,
एक
सर।
दूसरी मेथड ये है कि आपको जो डिवीजन में यहाँ पे x और y की पावर दी है, तो आपको इस तरह से y की वैल्यू x के फॉर्म में एज्यूम करनी है कि यहाँ पे हर एक में x की टर्म सेम हो जाए। ये आपको सेकंड सेमेस्टर में पढ़ाया होगा, फर्स्ट सेम में। तो यहाँ पे x की पावर 1, तो y की वैल्यू को ऐसी एज्यूम कर लो कि जिसके अंदर x आ जाए। सो आइदर यू कैन टेक डायरेक्टली द पाथ y इक्वल टू mx, बिकॉज z टेंड्स टू 0. There are so many ways. So we'll take y equal to mx. So ये problem now it only convert into x tends to 0. यहाँ पे हो गया आपका x minus ix into m और x plus ix into m. x कट हो जाएगा. So x tends to 0. यहाँ पे हो गया 1 minus mi, 1 plus mi, so 1 minus mi and 1 plus mi. Now can you say this value is unique? इसकी वैल्यू यूनिक आएगी ऐसा बोल सकते हो आप? नो, दिस वैल्यू डिपेंड्स ऑन m. m की डिफरेंट वैल्यू पे इसकी लिमिट्स की वैल्यू डिफरेंट आएगी. सपोज आप m इक्वल टू 1 लो तो एक वैल्यू आएगी, m इक्वल टू 2 लो तो दूसरी वैल्यू आएगी, m इक्वल टू 3 लो तो तीसरी वैल्यू आएगी. सो दिस लिमिट इज अ डिफरेंट वैल्यूज, नॉट यूनिक. सो देयरफॉर limit does not exist. So there are two techniques. Either you can find only two different limits, or in general you can prove in this way. Now problem number 3. Look at this. Prove that e raised to z is continuous everywhere in the entire complex plane. Means we have to check the continuity for all value of z, not at a one particular point. In previous two problem we discussed the limit at a one particular point. Now in general, so whenever we have to show the generalized continuity, we use the generalized technique. So we use the property. How to see? We discussed in previous slide that fz equal to u plus iv is continuous. Double implies that u and v are also continuous. So in order to prove this, we use this technique. So how to prove this solution? So e raised to z we separate into real and imaginary part. So e power x plus iy, e power x, e power iy. E power x, what is e power iy?
cos y plus I sin y.
I sin y. Open the bracket. E power x cos y plus I e power x sin y. Now you compare with u plus IV. So therefore, U equal to e power x cos y, V equal to e power x sin y. Now you observe that here this U and V are consisting of exponential function, cos function and sine function. And all these functions are continuous. Exponential is continuous, cos is continuous, sine is continuous. So their product is continuous. And hence U and V are continuous. U and V are continuous. So e raised to z is also continuous. So how to write the final statement? So here UV consisting U and V consisting exponential and trigonometric functions which are continuous everywhere. Therefore, U and V are continuous everywhere in xy plane, because U and V are functions of x and y, so we referred it as a xy plane. ठीक है? Similarly, if you refer this xy plane in terms of terminology of complex number, then you can say that it is a complex plane. So hence, now U and V are continuous. So therefore, e raised to z is also continuous in entire complex plane. So you can write in this way. Okay. So now I think we skip here. We'll see one more problem tomorrow. Okay. देख ले इसको, एक लास्ट प्रॉब्लम है.
थैंक यू सर.
हाँ, एक देख लेते हैं ये, फिर दूसरा टॉपिक कल शुरू होगा. ये 2 मिनट में हो जाएगा.
ठीक है.
चलो, क्या करना है इसमें देखना है. डिटरमाइन वेदर द फंक्शन fz इक्वल टू z अपॉन मोड z एंड f0 इक्वल टू 0 इज कंटिन्यूअस एट ओरिजिन और नॉट. तो आपको सिर्फ क्या करना है, यू हैव टू फाइंड द लिमिट ऑफ द फंक्शन. हमें एट z टेंड्स टू 0 ओरिजिन पे. सो लिमिट z टेंड्स टू 0 f ऑफ z इक्वल टू limit z tends to 0. f of z means z divided by mod z.
मॉड्यूलस z.
हाँ, अभी इसको आप डायरेक्ट x प्लस आई वाई में कन्वर्ट कर दो. तो ये हो गया x प्लस आई वाई और ये हो गया अंडर रूट एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस वाई स्क्वायर. अभी मैंने दिखाया आपको, लिमिट लेने के लिए आपको एज्यूम करना है यहाँ पे x की पावर स्क्वायर रूट निकाल दो तो 2 होगा. सो लेट अस टेक सपोज y इक्वल टू mx. जो हमने मैं शॉर्टकट मेथड दिखाया वही. सो लिमिट x टेंड्स टू 0 हो जाएगा, x प्लस आई एम एक्स हो जाएगा ना. और यहाँ पे हो गया एक्स स्क्वायर प्लस एम स्क्वायर एक्स स्क्वायर. डिनोमिनेटर में से कॉमन बाहर x निकल जाएगा, x कट हो जाएगा.
सर रूट कट हो जाएगा तो x बाहर रहेगा.
हाँ, तो एक x न्यूमरेटर से कैंसिल हो जाएगा. x टेंस टू 0, यहाँ पे हो गया 1 प्लस आई एम
I am
डिवाइड बाय 1 प्लस एम स्क्वायर, एंड दिस
1
इज
plus m square.
लिमिट डज नॉट एग्जिस्ट
Hmm.
और दिस इज नॉट इक्वल टू 0.
0. Yes, sir.
This is not equal to 0. That is not equal to f of 0.
सर 1 माइनस एम स्क्वायर आएगा।
कहाँ पे? यहाँ पे? अरे मॉड्यूलस का डेफिनेशन में प्लस आता है।
ओके सर, ओके।
तो
ओके।
कंटिन्यूटी में क्या है कि ये वैल्यू आपकी f इक्वल टू 0 के पास होनी चाहिए, उसकी वैल्यू 0 है, वो f इक्वल टू 0 के पास नहीं होती है। सो देयरफॉर लिमिट z tends
Does not
to
exist.
z0, fz is not equal to f0.
It's F0.
Okay, so fz is discontinuous
Discontinuous.
at origin.